Protecting Seas. I'm Nikki, I'm the co-founder of Mimoana, and thank you so much for joining us, Laura, on this podcast. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, thank you so much for making time and joining us to talk a little bit more about what you think of the ocean and what you do, which I'm really excited to hear about. So, let's get started from the beginning. You're a diver, right?
Yes,
So, why did you become a diver?
that's a good question. I I was lucky enough to be born in a family where everybody's diving.
Okay.
So I basically started as a kid already. I mean, I didn't have much choice. But luckily I liked it, so I kept doing it also when I grew up.
Oh, that's amazing. So you started from a really young age, right?
Yes, yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Sort of grow up with that, with the ocean. You know, it's you grew up with it, which is amazing. You're really
Yes.
lucky.
Yes, I am. Even though I rather grew up with the lakes here in
Uh-huh.
Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, just when I travel, I can see the ocean. So this
Yeah.
part I miss, of course, a bit.
Yeah, I completely understand. I really understand. We're very lucky here to have the ocean, this huge mass of water we can just jump in anywhere you want and go diving. Yeah,
Yes.
we're lucky. You're not only a diver, you also make videos about diving, which is what
Mhm.
you're, well, famous for, may I say.
Sort of.
Yeah. So you started making these videos quite a while ago, right?
Yeah, 2 years ago,
Wow, it's been two
more or
years
less.
already. Wow.
Yes.
And
Actually, a
yeah,
bit more, like
wow,
2.5 now, I guess already. I
wow.
didn't really count.
But it's been a while, and
Yes.
so why did you start making those videos?
I started during the pandemic
Mm-hmm.
when Corona came, and I started actually just for fun, for
Yeah.
myself and for my family and close friends, let's
Mm-hmm.
say, just to have some memes to share and so on. And then I started seeing that more people liked it than I thought. And then it just went on from there. And I got more and more motivated. I saw that actually many more people than I thought are so into diving.
Yeah.
And then I kept doing it, and now here I am.
Wow. Yeah. So the diving community is quite big. There's a lot of people that dive.
Yes.
Do there also people
Yeah.
many people look that aren't divers?
Um, some that are just interested maybe in starting diving, yes.
Mm.
Some of my friends that are non-divers but just like support me.
You have good
But
friends.
they're very few. Mainly are like people also just interested in the ocean itself, or free divers as well, so
Wow.
not necessarily scuba divers,
Mm-hmm.
or fin swimmers as
Mm.
well, like people doing, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, but like mermaiding or something.
Yeah. Yep. The new thing, Paddy Mermaid diver. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Which I love. By the way, I really want to do it because it's so cute and take cute pictures and it's really nice.
I know, I know. I mean, I never tried with the tails itself, but I was a fin swimmer, so like I
Uh,
used to like really swim with it, like with
ah,
the monofin,
so you
and I
know.
really loved it.
Ah.
But with the fins, I don't know. I always thought it's so inefficient because of the hydrodynamic, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm a bit boring, thinking more in the
More towards
thinking.
scuba diving, normal scuba diving.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. So you don't have well, yeah, you don't have only people that dive, which maybe then inspires people that haven't done diving yet to start,
Mhm.
right?
Yes, yes,
Maybe
exactly.
you
Sometimes I
never
get
know.
people asking me
Ah,
like they would like to start, they saw my videos, where should they go, how does it work, or like
wow.
they're afraid of deep water, is it still something for them? The answer, by the way, is yes. um,
Shock.
so yes.
No, that's amazing. That's really cool. Thank you for getting people into the diving community. I
Sure,
don't know
it's a
if it's
pleasure.
I don't know if it's the same there, but here, diving has a little bit of a bad reputation because many dive centers they don't really follow standards, so things happen that shouldn't happen. like DCS, or not enough oxygen, or sorry, air left. So things happen that shouldn't really happen, and that's why people get afraid of diving. I don't know if it's the same there.
You mean in Switzerland? Actually, I need to tell you, I was surprised that so many people dive just because here it's not so diffused as idea. Like, not so many people dive in Switzerland, and I also understand why. It's cold, there is few things to see, so
Right.
understandable. So, and also like I come from a family and a region where all the people I know were diving, so I was never really afraid of it because, but I hear from like friends that are non-divers and grew up in a completely different context. Some of them are indeed afraid of it and of many things that could happen, or like just thinking they're dependent from this tank they have on the back, right? And I know it could be a scary idea. And if I think about, I have maybe 50, 60 meters of water above me, it kind of scares me too if I just think about it like this, right? But when you're down, it's just different. Like, you don't feel it like a potential threat or whatever.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
thing, enjoying your dive, and like all the fear just disappeared. It's
Definitely.
natural.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's like
Yeah.
we were supposed to, well, I feel like I'm sort of supposed to be there, It's like, oh, I'm back home.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So it's nice that people like yourself make videos and try to make it sort of funny and cute, and get people interested, so that you see, like, look, it doesn't have to be dangerous. It's a dangerous
No,
sport,
not at
but
all.
it's safe. We do it in a good way.
Yeah.
So that's really good, because then more people can come into the ocean, and then also see, of course, the plastic, which is
Yeah.
what it's all about, to sort of see the plastic, see the consequences, and then remove it, which is typically what we want
Yes.
to do. Now, talk about
Yeah.
plastic. You're now a new ambassador, right?
Yep.
For Ocean. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, sure. I would like to tell you how actually I came to that by telling you a little story about when I was a kid. As I told you, we're all diving in my family, so we also really like to travel to beautiful seas to see something when we dive. And one day we were still really young. We found a little turtle. She wasn't bigger than my hand, right? And she was trapped in sort of bag, plastic pieces. I'm not sure what that was, and some ropes that were coming out of it. And she had it really pretty tight around the neck and the left fin. So we took it. She was just near to the beach, so we took it to the beach. And my father and my mother, they both tried to remove it with a scissor. And to be honest, as a kid, it was really scary. I thought like, okay, please don't cut the neck, right? It was also pretty difficult.
Yeah.
But at the end, they managed, and we set her free again, of course. I don't know how many days she was there, or if it was just new, whatever. It's just something that really remained in my mind. I think I still have some pictures at home. I need to search them. And this experience really taught me we need to pay attention. Like, if you would ask someone, would you feed your pet plastic? Of course, they would say no.
Yeah.
Like, nobody would do that, right? I hope.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is that people don't know the consequences of what they do, and that's why we have plastics in the ocean. Because if people would know what happens, then they wouldn't do it, of course. So I think the most important thing is that they actually don't know what happens when they use certain things, or like plastic comes into the ocean or stuff like that. So the most important thing is probably to educate people to solve this problem.
Definitely.
Because we can for sure like help cleaning the oceans and taking stuff out, but we will always have the same problem. So I think the most important thing is educating people to not do that anymore
Yeah,
or to change the way they live.
yeah,
And for that, of course, we need also to show alternatives, like how could you then substitute something? Yeah.
yeah. No, that's a good, really good point you made, especially about education. It's why we from Mimwana we educate a lot. So not only on
Hmm.
the beach where we sort of put everything together, what we found, and then classify it so people can see it. When we pick up maybe like 300 kilograms, so maybe 8, 9 bags full of plastic, people can see it. That's also a way of educating. But then we also go to schools and give presentations, and we have this educational program which includes 7 videos, and they can watch one every week. And they sort of follow us through the journey of what is recyclable, what isn't, and how to see it, and how to separate things at home, and how to, reduce your plastic. So it's really important to start from 8 years old, 9 years old, to then
Yes.
up to maybe the bigger companies that are the ones technically that are causing it because they won't stop producing things that are then in the ocean. For
Mm.
them to then start reducing their plastic, which is what we need, which is what would solve the
Yes.
whole problem, but it's very difficult, of course. So
Yes.
education is definitely number one. And I know For Ocean does a lot of that, I think.
Hmm. Yes, they do both. Like they try, of course, in the first place to clean like coastlines, rivers, oceans, everything.
Yeah.
And the other side, of course, education is then really important.
Yeah. So now with you as ambassador, what is your role exactly?
Um, oh, difficult to define. I so applied to become an ambassador just because I felt like it's important that everybody does something. It's okay when you cannot solve the plastic problem by yourself.
Yeah.
You're also not supposed to.
Yeah.
And I was ready, like, since ever I was educated to live in a certain way, like, try to use reusable stuff, not buy every time a new plastic sack when you go shopping, but rather bring your own bag and
Yeah.
stuff like this, like, just simple things,
Yeah.
right? And now that I grew up, I realized I want to do something more. And I myself cannot go and clean up an ocean because, first of all, there are no oceans in Switzerland. So
Difficult.
the maximum I can do is when I find like trash during my dives in the lakes, I just take them up,
Yeah.
take them with me, and then trash them, of course. But of course, this is not like solving anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I rather decided to keep doing this, of course, and then give a bit more help in the direction of educating. So, as you said, I have an Instagram page with some followers now, and I think if I just start raising a bit awareness towards this problem, it could help. Then maybe in the future I have also a better result.
This is
So
amazing.
I'm more in the making people aware of the problem
Yeah,
section.
which is very necessary because we, for instance, we have a small group. In one has maybe I don't know 700 followers, and we get volunteers, maybe 130 volunteers at the beach, but it's not enough. We need more publicity. Technically, we need more people, more awareness, which you can
Mhm.
achieve through various ways, either on the beach by people seeing you cleaning up, or
Yeah.
through social media with people like yourself, with a um, bigger group that follow you, and that way those can see what you do and probably get inspired because they probably follow you because they love your video, so they'll get inspired and do something as well, which is very necessary. So thank you for using
Thank
your
you.
public to sort of raise that awareness. It's very important. So thank you.
Thank you. That's nice of you. I'm doing my
So that's amazing. And the ocean is it's our life, isn't it? Especially as divers, it's very important that we keep it as
Yeah.
clean as possible. But I'm sure that you
Yes.
can agree with me that it's not very clean.
No.
No. Um,
Unfortunately not.
no, it's quite bad. You pick up things that you find. What do you usually find?
Um, well, mainly like plastic pieces
Mm-hmm.
or bottles or cans of like small things, then I think it really depends where you are. Like I'm now talking for like Swiss lakes. It's mainly stuff that people maybe throw in the lake directly after a evening out, like some glass bottles or stuff
Right.
like this.
Right.
But at some point I found even like a traffic light. Not sure how we got there in the
That's,
first place.
that's special.
But of course, this is a bit more tricky to bring up
Yeah.
than just like, carrying it for
In your
yourself.
trash bag.
Yeah, exactly. No, so like for bigger things, then like we get help from like other divers of the
Amazing.
same club to
Amazing.
bring them up. Yes.
Yeah, amazing. So we see that it's quite similar what we find throughout the whole world. So you find them cans and plastic bottles and glass. We find the same things. I had an interview with Jess. She's from Seattle. She finds the same things again. So many cans and plastic. So we can see it's everywhere. Basically the same.
Yeah.
Well, she found also
Yeah.
some fake teeth, but I think that's just special in
What?
in America. I think that's just them being special. Yeah. But we see something common happening, I think, and it's people like yourself, like volunteers that can really help the ocean.
Yeah.
So you're doing an amazing job, and thank you for sharing it with everyone. I can't get enough publicity, but you're getting it, so that's amazing. Someone's doing it.
Thank you.
And I know you're very busy, so thank you so much for joining me and talking a little bit about what you do and why. It was so nice to meet you. I've been following you for so long, and I get to talk to you about it, which is amazing.
That's great to hear. Thank you so much, and thank you also for the work you're doing actively to pull out trash from the beaches. I think it's really important too.
Well,
And
thank you.
even though you said it's pretty looking bad now, the situation, I see, as you said, something is happening, like compared to like 10, 20 years ago, so many more people are actively doing something. So I think we have good hopes for the future, let's say.
Definitely. I definitely agree. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next week, we're going to talk a little bit more about the ocean and about what we do, but this time with a different person. So let's see who joins us. It will remain a mystery, and we will announce it about 2 or 3 days before it actually comes online. So, thank you for watching, and thank you for listening, and I hope to see you next week.